This is November 1 Delta, Uniform Charlie calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Hey everybody, welcome back to Ham and Quackers. So we're going to be talking about the entry-level radios that a technician would probably purchase at a low cost, probably the best entry-level ones for somebody just getting into the hobby. I'm going to talk about my own experience. I am not sponsored by any of these companies or anything like that. I just want to show you this is how I did things and how I was guided. So to start off, congratulations on getting your technician. Normally people start with a Baofeng radio. They are Chinese. These can be programmed either through software on the computer, something called Chirp. You need a programming cable for that. So when you go to buy one of these, you're going to look for the programming cable if that's something you're interested in. So what that'll do for you is make things a little bit easier to set up local repeaters, and it will also show the name that you put in the computer for that repeater. Now, you can do just about anything manually on these radios. And in an emergency, you might not have a computer to program your radio. So I'm going to show you today how to program really quick, just so that you can get these frequencies in and you have the local repeaters. I'll go into that now. I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see what's here. I looked up a local club. So I typed in the Mississippi Coast Amateur Radio Association. Now, what you can do is go onto the ARRL website. Click on clubs. Hopefully it'll process this quickly. If not, just go on to the ARRL website, type clubs, and look up a local club near your area. So they have a little section where you can put in your zip code or, you know, your town and your state. Yeah, it's taking a little bit longer. Becoming an affiliated club. So if you want to start one, let's see. Special service. Oh my goodness. Find a club. There we go. Okay, so you can type in, let's see, I am in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Let me put in the zip code. This will probably work. 39564. Within 20 miles, search. Okay. Well, there's the Jackson County Amateur Radio Association, Mississippi Coast. Okay, so this is actually, I met somebody recently while doing a Parks on the Air activation, and they're a part of the Mississippi Coast ARRL. So you can see the links right here. Click on their website. It'll pop up with their website. Now, most of the clubs have a website and they give you their frequency information so you can get onto a repeater. Well, what is a repeater? And I'm going to do this very quickly. A radio communicates line of sight. So if I have a ton of buildings in between me and my friend, and it's 2 miles away, you have to make that signal, might not make it over that building. So the idea is if you put an antenna that can receive both signals, you can communicate through the antenna. So that allows for more distance between your communication. So for example, if I try to talk to a friend, and you learned about 146520, the calling frequency. If you call CQ, this is November 1 Delta Uniform Charlie calling CQ 2 meters and standing by. That's what you'll say, and hopefully someone will come back. But there might be so many trees and so many things in the way, nobody hears it. There are some other things that can happen where your signal can go further doing just line of sight talking. But generally speaking, the best way to go is into a repeater because you get to meet more people and you get to talk with more people for that area. So there is an antenna basically set up at a high point where everybody can kind of communicate through it. And there's different levels, but we're not going to go into those right now. let's see. So for example, this is this club. What you want to look for is their frequency and their codes to put into your radio. Okay. So in this case, they put down their repeater information right here. So we're looking at 2 meters because we're not ready for 6 meters yet. We're just starting out. We just want to learn about this. So Yaesu fusion, which is something that they do in certain locations. If you have a Yaesu radio, you can use this. However, this repeater system also offers FM, and the C4FM is that system fusion. So that's a Yaesu thing. So let's stick with the basics here. You got your Baofeng radio, you're getting ready to plug something in. What I do is I write things down. It's super important to write things down. So I'm going to write down in a notebook, and this can be your radio notebook where you're going to write down the local frequencies, because what happens if your computer breaks or there's no internet or whatever? You have it in a notebook if it's not programmed into your radio already. So let's see, frequency 146730. Okay, this is the offset frequency right here. And actually, I can show you, if you go to their repeater list, they show you all the local repeaters here. But the one that they're talking about, right, 146730 is right here, 146730. Okay, so the offset is a minus. Okay, it's not a plus, because see, like this one is plus 5 megahertz, or it's plus 600 kilohertz or whatever. Don't worry about the kilohertz and the blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about that, okay? You're looking at the minus. Great, that's the offset. And then you have the tone, the CTCSS tone. It does not say it here, but in your radio, that is what it will say. And then you have, well, it'll tell you the call sign of that here, we're still over here on this repeater. And then you go over and you go the squelch tone, right? That's the CSS, the tone squelch. There is a minus 0.600 megahertz. Now that's what you're going to put into your radio. You can also go on to Repeater Book, which is awesome. Great resource here. And you go to Repeater Book. Welcome to Repeater Book. Okay, so we're in North America. So we're going to go to North America repeaters. Click on that. And then the database will show up. In this case, we're in Mississippi. Well, I am, at least. Going to Mississippi. All right, so I am looking at 2 meters. That's what my radio can do, 2 meters or 70 centimeters. But just for ease of this, example, I'm going to go to 2 meters. Well, look at this. So in some browsers, you can actually click on location, and it will itemize it by location or by frequency or by whatever. So our frequency is 146. What was it? 146730. Okay, 730. Okay, so they're around. I believe this is the one. Yep, Whiskey 5 Sierra Golf Lima. So this is the one that we were looking at on the club website. So this was that CTCSS code. It's showing it here. Sometimes they have multiple ones, and then the minus 0.6 megahertz. So the reason they have these codes, for one thing, is repeaters can have the same frequency and be very close to one another, okay? Or just close enough. And I had that problem in Connecticut where there was a New Jersey tower, and sometimes with the way propagation was, you could actually hear them and they could hear you. So the idea is, if you have this special code, it's almost like a secret code. The tone or the CTCSS code will get you into that repeater so that you won't get that interference from some of the other channels. Does it happen? Yes. But, sometimes that's how the frequencies work, okay? And then you have the offset, and that has to do with how the information is processed into the repeater, so that, there might be your input offset and then your output, and it's a little confusing for somebody first starting out. So we're just going to learn the numbers. I want it to be very quick. So, all right, I found the information. I am ready to program my radio. So I wrote it all down. And now we're going to go into the notebook. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so here I am with my notebook. I wrote down all the information. Whiskey 5 Sierra Golf Lima Biloxi, the frequency number, the offset, and the CTCSS. I am all set to program my radio. In my previous video, we discussed how to find the information for the repeaters. So in this case, we're going to try programming in Whiskey 5 Sierra Golf Lima, which is frequency 146730. Okay, so the first things first, we're looking at our screen and, well, I see some numbers over on the side. That means that these are already programmed stations, and this is what you're trying to do, program channels right there. So what you're going to do is hit the VFO button so that you can actually type in the new frequency you want to change. This arrow here indicates which frequency you're going to change and be able to save. So this arrow here, you can move it, that's the A, and that's the B. So you're going to want to go to A just for now. Let's type in the frequency, 146730. Okay, so now we're on 146730. We want to change the settings for this frequency so that we're hitting the repeater properly, right? So in this case, we're going to go to menu. When we go to menu, we're going to click 13, 1, 3. These are the settings that I have gone through that are the easy ones. So just take note of them. 13, 25, 26, and 27. Now, if you don't work too quickly, you will go back to the main screen. But if you want to go back, you just press menu. Okay, so we happen to be in 13. So let me press menu. And we need a CT CSS tone of 136.5. And we are not on that right now. So we're going to go ahead and move to it. 136.5. Okay, and then you just press the menu button. That arrow will move up to the top saying that you locked in and you got it right. And then we're moving on to the next setting. So that's 25. Okay, so this is the deviation, whether it's positive, negative, or off. So in this case, on our offset, you will see it's a negative, right? It's negative 0.600. So we're going to go back to our menu because it timed out. We're going to press menu again, and then we're going to use the arrows to go to the minus, okay? And then you just press menu, boom, it's saved. Okay, so you can either go up one to put in the offset, or if you're at the menu, whoops, if you go exit and you're here, or you're at the front page here in the VFO, you can press menu and then type in 26 and it will bring you back there. So let's press menu and put in the offset that we had, which was 0, 0, 0, decimal, 6, 0, 0. Then press menu, boom, you got it in. All right, the next setting is setting 27, which you can either type in 27 from the home screen, or you could just go up one and there's the memory channel. Now, since this one says channel -000, that means that it's actually in there programmed with a frequency. So we're going to go try to find a frequency that hasn't been used. Okay, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 is open. What we're going to do, since we're on 9, we just press menu. Boom, you're saved. So channel 9 will now show up as this repeater system. And so just to remind you, this is the information here that we were plugging in. Okay, and let's go back to the menu and we're going to take it out of the VFO mode so you can see the channel mode. All right, so now you can see over here it says 9 and it has 146.730. So that right there is your information you need. Now, if you are a licensed ham, you can try to reach the repeater by clicking this button here, the push to talk button, and say your call sign and see if someone comes back. Usually with a repeater system, when you go and click that button, it will key up the repeater. So if I try clicking it right now, nothing's happening. So I probably am not within the range of the repeater, but that doesn't mean you're not getting in there. Okay. So, sometimes you can just listen to the frequency. So right now, if somebody were to talk and I was within range of the repeater, I could hear them. Okay, so go ahead and plug in some of your repeater systems and try listening. Figure out, how far are they from you? All right, so one of the things that can be really difficult, this rubber ducky antenna, that's what you'll hear people calling it. They're really not very good for the HTs or the handy talkies. So go ahead onto, it's a super elastic signal stick. They make a really nice antenna. It's bendable. It's rugged. I've had one for years. Really, really love that antenna. And if you go to the super elastic signal stick, just make sure that you know which connection you have on your radio. So in this case, on the radio, I have a male connector. And then what I'm going to want to get is a female connector here to get in there. SMA, female, SMA, male. Some radios do not have that. They are a different connector. So for this radio and this purpose of the, let's see, UV-S9PLUS, we're going to use that. Okay, so I got to order that one in the mail. Let me see if there's anything else that's good to know. Let's see, the nets. So once you have that programmed in and you can actually reach the repeater, go ahead and check out your nets. So they have one on Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So, and Wednesday. So don't be afraid. Go ahead, join the net, and I will have another video about joining a net and basically what a net sounds like. So I will record that and you'll be able to see it. Thank you for watching Ham and Quackers, and I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can go ahead and email me at info@hamandquackers.com. Have a wonderful day. 73. Quack, quack. I hope that was a really helpful video on how to program your Baofeng radio. If you have any questions whatsoever, or you have a friend who's just starting out and, they don't really know how to use their radio, I think this may be a very helpful video. I am always around if you want to email me, info@hamandquackers.com. Hey, good luck, and continue watching for more instructional videos and educational videos on how to basically start. Once again, the radios that I am showing, I am not sponsored by them. These are just things that I have found to be helpful and probably the best decisions that I have made when it comes to entry-level radios and trying to do things when you really don't have the finances. Ham radio can be very expensive, and you make it what you want it. So if you want to go cost-effective way, the Baofeng radio, or well, I'm going to show you my mobile rig the next time. Well, thank you for watching. 73.